apologize for starting behind schedule. But today we'll start our show with the Super Eagles players allegedly ready to receive their match bonuses and allowances since July 2019. But for now, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we begin the show. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back, and if you are just joining us, this is the Sports Hour Show. The Super Eagles players and the technical crew have not been paid their match bonuses and allowances since their semi-final match against Algeria at the 2019 African Cup of Nations last year. The revelation was made by BBC reporter Osasu Obanyuwan in a series of tweets on Wednesday. According to him, this comes from a reliable source in the Super Eagles. The team have played 9 matches since the semi-final of the AFCON in July 2019, and the players and the officials, of course, have not been paid a dime in allowance or bonuses since then, not a red cent. Players are risking their lives and limb. No less than 4 players have been badly injured in this time while turning up for Nigeria. If there is no policy for paying bonuses, then we all know, but when promises are made on promises and nothing is paid, it is grossly unfair. Is the NFF sitting on the money, or is the Sport Ministry, headed by Mr. Sunday Dare? Is this fair? Why is no one talking about it? That's Obama asks. And Obama is a member of the NFF committee, and he knows what he's talking about. And the Super Eagles, and he's also wondering why the Super Eagles players, including their captain Ahmed Musa, have kept mute over the situation. And we'll go to our next story, where we have the Flying Eagles, who are set to depart for Benin Republic, the venue of the 2020 WAFU Zone B Championship on Friday. The 7-time African champions are expected to touch down in Cotonou same day, at their first training session on the pitch the following day, in preparation ahead of the opening game against arch rivals, Junior Elephants of Ivory Coast, on the 6th December. To fine-tune the team ahead of the championship, the Ladaboso-led boys have played 9 friendly matches while camping in Abuja and won all the 9 matches. Send a signal, a very huge signal, I would say, to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, their Group B contenders. In the last Group B game for Nigeria, the 2-time World Cup finalists, Flying Eagles, will face Ghana on 9th December at the Stade de Gaulle at 4 p.m. Though a must for both sides, Nigeria under-20 boys in 2018 defeated the Ghana counterparts in the semi-finals of the competition to qualify for the final, which they lost to the virtual champions, Senegal. The last group game will see Ghana on the 12th at the same stadium at 4 p.m. The WAFU B Zone B Cup in Benin will serve as qualifiers for the 2021 Under-20 AFCON in Mauritania, where the Under-20 World Cup tickets will be booked. This is just preparation for the Nigerian, for these Flying Eagles, who are world champions, to go into the Africa continent again and do the nation proud. And yesterday, the sports minister was with them at the training session in Abuja, here at the stadium in Abuja, and he admonished them to go ahead and do what their predecessors have done in the past, which is to bring the trophy back to the Nigeria. In a while now, Nigeria has not been performing so well in our football, and the Flying Eagles are the future of the Super Eagles. So the earlier they come together, bring that trophy and groom these boys. And I believe that Ladaboso, who is an experienced coach, he has coached in the Nigerian League, he has coached across the country. He is first. I can assure Nigerians that he is going to deliver for us, and I wish the team the best when they go for Benin for the WAFU B Zone Championship. Now let's go still on football. The Secretariat of the Nigerian Women Football League in Abuja has released the new fixtures for the 2020-21 Women Premier League season, without listing the 2 relegated clubs, that's Adamawa Queens and Atlant Queens. The 2 teams that these 2 teams fell short of club licensing and registrations were condemned to the second-tier league. The NWFL Championship, whose season will commence very soon. The Premiership draws, the season opener comes up on December 9, 2020, with National Amazons hosting FC Robo of Lagos at the Lafayette Township Stadium, with kickoff scheduled for 4 p.m. Same as other league games on the same date. In match day 2, the former champions Bayelsa Queens will host Sunshine Queens of Akure at the Samson Sears Stadium in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Now, the Women Football League, the last season, in fact, they didn't have any season last season. Their season was cut short even before the coronavirus pandemic. And now, I think they're trying to make amends now and bring back the women football. And of recent, there has been some move by the Sport Ministry and the Nigerian clubs, both the male clubs and the female clubs. They tune into the club licensing and registration. What does this mean? This means that every club must have every facility. Talking of medicals, talking of coaching, everything must be on point, must be there for the players, and then they must have a certain amount of money in the accounts for for any emergency. And unfortunately, for 2 clubs in the Women League, that's talking about Adamawa Queens and Atlant Queens, they failed to have the required. They didn't get up to the standards, and now they have been asked to relegate. That's very painful for the 2 clubs. Talking about Adamawa Queens and Atlant Queens, they will not be playing in the top tier women football this coming season, and they'll be playing the second tier, and then they have to struggle all over again from the scratch and come to the top. But anyway, what has to be done has to be done. They fail to get the requirements. They fail the requirements, and they are being punished for it, which is good, because there are set guidelines, and this direction is good for the Nigerian football at all levels, both at the female level. Let me also point out that for the male football, let's talk about the Nigerian football, the professional football in Nigeria. Here. Now, we have our 20 clubs, and only 13 stadiums have been approved right now for football. The other 7 are still scrambling to ensure that their stadium is up to date. And pending when they do that, they will not be playing in their home stadium, and this is good. Like I said earlier, they are to have all their facilities on ground. Medicals must be medicals, which is actually the most important there. When we recall the death of Chineme Martins last season, where there was no medicals to bring him up, to resuscitate him, and now the ministry and the Football Federation in general have said every club must have medicals, and we will see when this league will start. Though that's another story for another day. The league is still being debated upon whether it will start or not. And still talking, let's now go to our next story, which has to do with volleyball. The volleyball is one sport that is making waves right now, and courtesy the president, Engineer Musa Nimrod, who has gone his way out to ensure that volleyball returns to the peak of sport in Nigeria. Now, the 2021 African Nations Girls and Athletic Volleyball Championship is scheduled to hold at the Package B of the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Meanwhile, in preparation for the female national team for the Continental Showpiece, the Federation is organizing an open trial for the players under the age bracket to converge at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. The engineer Musa Nimrod is probably doing his best to ensure that volleyball returns to the peak of sports in Nigeria. And now Nigeria is going to host the 2021 edition in Abuja, this from January 29 to February 7, 2021. That's talking about next year. But then, hopefully, the coronavirus pandemic will have gone down drastically. Of course, probably the vaccine will have come to Nigeria as well, so that we can have fans coming into the stadium to cheer the Nigerian team to victory. And this under 18 volleyball team, just like every other sport, is an age grade team that will push, that will graduate to the senior national team, and of course, begin to represent the country at the top level of volleyball. Let me just read briefly. That's talking about Musa Nimrod said the federation, that's the International Federation, has every trust in Nigeria to bring about a very, very competitive and well-balanced competition next year. There's a lot of trust in the Nigerian Federation, Volleyball Federation, and like I said earlier, one man has been in charge of this federation for a while, and he has done so much to ensure that volleyball comes to the height it's supposed to be. But for now, we will go on a short break, and when we return, my other guest, sorry, my partner in crime, so to say, is not in the studio, so we'll start the show together. So let's go on a short break. Okay, so you're welcome back from the break, and let's have a recap of what I was discussing before we went on this break. We're talking about the Super Eagles who are yet to receive their match bonuses in 2019, and my co-partner is here, Mr. Olawale Yeni.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm so sorry I came a little bit late because of the traffic. I was held up somewhere, but thank God I'm here. Yes, the news broke yesterday that the Super Eagles have not been paid their entitlement, their allowance since 2019 when they played the semi-final game against the what country?
Algeria.
Algeria? Yes,
yeah,
Algeria. So it's just so sad that the NFF have not been able, to pay the Super Eagles a match allowance, and they are saying they are almost autonomous. They want to go autonomous. They can sustain themselves financially and all that. It has also, get to shown in that particular one where we played Sierra Leone, that from Fogo up, the Sierra Leoneans came back and they drew that particular.
Let's not go. That's the moment of sadness for Nigerians.
Then we went to Sierra Leone there and we couldn't score in that particular one, and I think it is also one reason for Penetrono inviting home base. I feel because I feel they feel maybe okay, these foreign based players they can food their bills themselves, but
yes,
the local players can't food their bills themselves.
And they will talk out.
And they will talk out. So I'm just seeing that as one of those reasons why they don't get to call out the home based players.
That means, are we not missing the set of Olise? Who have spoken out against all this, that said, you're owing us money, I don't want to talk, they will talk out.
Yes,
in quotes, the mafias.
Of course.
But
Olisa will actually come and say out his mind. He doesn't care who is involved, who anything.
But Ahmed Musa is keeping quiet. He's the captain and he should talk.
For me, I feel Ahmed Musa should actually talk about now, due to the fact that he's the captain of the side. He's just have maybe like 2 more years to play. He's getting old already. I feel he has accomplished. He has played in the World Cup twice. He has played in the Nations Cup. He has won the Nations Cup. So a big player like Ahmed Musa in the national team, I feel it's high time for him to just speak out and let the whole world know what is really happening in the world of football right about now. Because as it is now, it's not actually good for our football as it is right now, where our Super Eagles will not be paid for a whole year, getting to 2 years right about now, and Nigeria expect them to give them the best. I think it's not a good one for our football image right about now. Pinnick just celebrated his 50 years, saying he was disappointed with the way that Nigerian football is not in that part that he wanted.
Who's the head? Who's the head?
He's the head. At this point in time, I think we are not really sincere to ourselves. We should just do the right thing at the right time.
Okay, and we also talked about the Flying Eagles who are going to be in the Republic for their awful zombie. And again, yesterday the minister was at the stadium to cheer them to victory, as well urge them to ensure that they bring back that lost glory that Nigeria is known for. If not been champions at the youth stage in the world right now.
We know Paul last set of under 20 sets, they were not impressive. We saw what they did at the Nations Cup to the World Cup. Even at the Nations Cup, we qualified as the number 4 place team in Africa. We went to the Nations Cup. We performed shambolic. We didn't actually play to expectation with the likes of what we used to see in those days when Mikel and the rest used to play for the under 20. So we are charging this also. Nigerians are also charging Ladamboso side. They should ensure.
Ladamboso is a coach with experience.
Yes,
so much experience
in the league and also.
Yes.
So Nigerians are actually charging him to actually go to Benin Republic and deliver. Anything short of getting a ticket to play in the under 20 African Nations Cup and World Cup, I think is to be no to
And
Nigerians.
the Wafu is more or less like a window dressing for him to see the kind of players. And again, he has the players. I've watched
some of the training.
Yeah, training
even that friendly matches.
I've seen that training, and I saw that these guys are good to go. But now that's just training. How they perform as the competition proper is one thing else. But then, like I said earlier, we will urge Ladamboso to ensure that these boys bring back that. Nigerian football of recent has been going down the drain.
Yes, unfortunately. Both the men and the women.
Yes, that fear factor that other African countries used to have for Nigeria is
no longer there.
In the years past, that any club or any country playing against Nigeria, you would think twice. Am I going to face it? Where am I starting from? Yes, it's just like now saying Alaves now he wants to play against Barcelona.
Of course,
you would think of this is a good thing. Am I going to?
Or you playing Liverpool at this point in time?
Yeah. So, but that fear factor, anybody
is no longer there.
Nigeria.
When a certain Sierra Leone, no disrespect, when a certain Sierra Leone can come back from 4-0 and draw that particular and 4-4, then there's nothing.
So it's 0-0 in the home stadium.
Anyway, we wish all the Flying Eagles all the best. They'll be jetting out of the country tomorrow to Benin Republic for the Wafu on the 20 Nations Cup. So yes, we'll go to our next story. We move away from football now, where we go to basketball, where Nigerians petition FIBA over the NBFF leadership dispute rocking the Nigerian Basketball Federation, where basketball stakeholders, also known as Basketball Integrity, has petitioned the Sports World Governing Body, that's FIBA, on the lingering leadership dispute of the Nigerian Basketball Federation. In a petition sent by the group spokesman, Edward Morris, a member called on the FIBA to ensure that a fresh election of the NBFF body is held before the start of the preparation of the upcoming Tokyo Olympics Games. Here they have sent a petition to the IOC. Now they are sending a petition to FIBA that a fresh edition, a fresh election should be held in the Nigerian Basketball Federation, because we know the Tijani woman-led fraction is also there. Then the Musa Kida also-led fraction is also there. GD, what do you make up of this lingering crisis? It's not only in basketball. We have in athletics. We have in other sports. What is the best way forward?
I think we've talked about this before on this show, where we said, let both men step down. That's just it.
Why will both men step down?
If they have the interest of the basketball at heart, Musa Kida is not ready to step down. He's not ready to agree that this other guy is the president. So let Tijani Mima is the president. Let both men step down completely. And now I think I support this petition to FIBA.
Yes.
Let there be fresh election. And whoever wins is the president.
Because as it is now, our league cannot start.
Because
of the lingering crisis, because there is a deal with Kwesi, and the Kwesi deal is not yet over. The Musa Kida-led fraction went to sign another deal with Total to actually sponsor the men Premier League and also the Division 1 Premier League for the men. And Kwasi also has the right to actually get to sponsor those two leagues. So at this point in time, the league cannot go on due to the fact that Kwasi is claiming a claim that they are the sponsors of the league, while Total also, they're saying they are the sponsor of the league. So we are the basketball sector now is kind of a dilemma. The athletes themselves are the one behind the bunch right about now.
Like I said, if two elephants are fighting, it's
a grass.
Now 2 elephants. Januma and Musa Kida, they're 2 elephants. The players are the grass who's suffering because they cannot play
And they cannot feed themselves because
that is their source of livelihood. And except they decide to not get other clubs outside Nigeria, that's where they can play.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of them all get clubs outside Nigeria.
It's not possible. It's not possible. All of them cannot get clubs.
They cannot get clubs outside Nigeria because that's the problem. You know, it's very difficult to even get clubs.
And again, it's just the Nigerian Premier League that we have. We don't have any other league. Maybe so company is sponsoring a league and they can actually play. It's just that league we have, and right about now, the league is not on. Also, they were some of them are preparing to go for the National Sports Festival. The National Sports Festival is not going to hold this year again. It will be next year. So at this point in time, our athletes, every one of them, at this point in time, where the festive season is just right by the corner, is going to be difficult for them and their families.
Now, just talking about basketball now, that is giving us crisis. And football as well too. But we can see that volleyball is the one that is giving us that
of course,
now.
yes.
And let me ask you now, are we ready to actually host the world? I mean, host this championship 2021?
Yes, of course, we are ready.
Sorry, I didn't mean the world, Africa.
Africa, of course, we have done it on the we have done it on that 21 level where we hosted the African volleyball men under 21 in Abuja here. You and I were there. We actually covered a particular competition. This one they are the girls under 18. They are coming to Nigeria January at the end of January to February 7th. I think it's going to be an interesting one for us to actually host that particular tournament. The Volleyball Federation under Engineer Musa Nimrod has been doing well, has been hosting.
To me, is the president of the year.
Of course, he's the president of the year, because if you check it, we have been hosting beach volleyball, we have been hosting other volleyball right here in Nigeria. Abuja has been a good host when it comes to volleyball in Nigeria. I want us to actually return to that old days where people get to pay money and get to watch volleyball being played at the national stadium. If they can actually do that in the 80s, we should actually do it now, because the president is actually doing all the best to actually make sure.
But then something struck me. Sorry to cut you. Something struck me with the letter that the sport ministry sent to the federation, the signal for sponsor for the competition. I wonder if it was NFF that was hosting something like that, would they tell NFF to run for sponsor? Would they look for money for NFF?
It's just so sad.
So why are they not telling the volleyball federation president to go and look for sponsor? Why can't they help him
get sponsors? It's just so sad.
I know if we get sponsors. If we get sponsors,
hopefully, we are hoping that he gets sponsors, because they have played the league for like 3 years now, and there have been no sponsor for the league. And also, even the Super Cup that just ended in Kwara, in Kwara. So I think last week, last week. It's just so sad that I've not been able to get sponsors. Volleyball has been doing well. All the paramilitary has been engaging in the sport, and the sport has been brought back to life by Musa Nimrod. I feel sponsors should actually run around the volleyball federation right about now, because they are doing well. Any sponsor that come to to sponsor the volleyball federation, they are very, very guaranteed that they are going to have enough mileage, because the press are always running around and supporting the volleyball federation at this point in time. So
all because of one man.
All because of Nimrod.
Because he is the pillar behind that.
Yes.
He has done so much for that.
Even the sport minister has even said it, that Nimrod always contributes his personal money just to help the national team. There are so many series of competition.
We are happy the man.
But it's just the truth. It's just the good work that he has done. There are a series of competition that he has solely sponsored the Nigerian team to actually play. Argentina, Germany, you can name it. They are always going to beat volleyball invitational tournament outside the country, and all this fun is just coming from one man. So I feel at this point in time, the sports ministry need to run around that and getting a sponsor. Let's actually get sponsored behind not just volleyball, other sport in the country.
And without sports, without some particular set of human beings, there will be no sports.
Of course.
And I'm talking about referees. Now, the president of the Nigeria Referee Association, that was NRA, talking about Mr. Otumba Tadi Aziz, has assured the football family that referees in the country, especially those of the Premier League cadre, in the new season, Otumba Tade, who made this known during the opening session of the pre-season fitness test and seminar for the 2021 season, stressed that necessary steps are being taken to put these whistle men and women in proper shape for the new season. According to him, irrespective of the challenges in the system posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and NSAS protests, the referees are turbocharged to deliver, while urging his members to maintain the good record and always be world ambassadors at both home and abroad while on duty. The NRA president revealed that good standard and optimal performance remain the watchword of the association. And I can see that in last season, in fairness to the NRA, to the referee association, they performed above board. There were less issues of match fixing
wrong call and all
wrong call.
But there were a little bit of
yes, there were a little bit. Of course, we see that even in European League. Yes. But then, what happened last season was
better
than
what happened previous season. Yes,
where they could beat up referee.
Yes, in match day venues.
Yeah, match day venue because of clear. You just call penalty from out of the blues. Penalty. Where do you come from? Or trying to avoid a dubious goal.
I mean, dubious call, yes.
Yes, and then, but you have seen that last season they were really. But then, my concern right now is that the Nigerian referee are still absent on the continent.
Of course.
Even they're not on the continent, and they're not even in the world. Because of why? Because of the past deed. Now that Otumba Tade, as has said, they are turbocharged and they are trying to they watch what is integrity and everything. Hopefully, hopefully in the next 2022 we should see at least one Nigerian referee at least for a start in Nations Cup.
Of course, yes, because I was there when they were doing that regular fitness training at the stadium. I saw how they were actually working hard for them to keep fit, get back in shape. They have not been doing anything for the past 8 months due to the lockdown and all that. So I think it's a good one. We just had 3 of our referees, I think, drafted for the Women's World Cup coming up in Austria, if I'm not mistaken. So at this point in time, it's a right step in the right direction.
But the males,
well, for the male, they have not been called up for them to actually get to participate. So, but right about now, what we just need is for them to actually get to work, get to do the right thing. Why we as media men get to actually showcase and showcase them to the world, get to package them well so that the world can actually see them and call them for them to actually handle most of those matches. So I just feel at this point in time, are we ready to have like a VAR in the Nigerian Professional Football League?
If you look at Abuja National Stadium, which is under construction for now, and they're going to put a VR. Edo, Samuel Gomita Stadium, Edo, it has VR already. So I don't know whether they're training these coaches now for how to read.
That's talking about the referees.
Yes, the referees, about the referees, if they're coaching them on how to understand the rules of
I think it will be very interesting if we can have the the VAR in our own league. I think it will actually boost the level of decision making when it comes to matches and the referees also. It will be work easy for us. The wrong call in that particular game. So we'll go to the next story where the International Olympic Committee chairman, president, talking about Thomas Bach, is set to run for a second-term presidency unopposed. Thomas Bach will run for a second term in office unopposed, as he's set to remain as the number one global athlete until 2025, after the NOC said on Tuesday that he will be the only candidate running in the next year presidential election. The members of the IOC were informed today, that is talking about on Wednesday, Tuesday, that the President Thomas Bach will be the only candidate of the president's presidential election who will be held during the 137th IOC section in Athens, that is talking about Greece. Do you really buy in this idea that Thomas Bach should be allowed to run for the second term, having been known that he came to Nigeria last year for a tour, and this year was supposed to be the Olympics, but it was postponed due to the coronavirus. Do you think he has been doing well as the president of the NOC, the IOC?
Yeah, I think he has done so. He has done well, at least to a very large extent. But then my only concern is why is he coming unopposed? at least
someone should actually know.
Yes, even though the person will lose or win, but at least it would be nice if somebody else was also contesting for the position as well. So he will feel that I really fought to make this presidency again. Not that he's going to get it. Now he's going to get it on the platter of gold. Yes. Because nobody is opposing him. But notwithstanding, Thomas Bach has been he's a former athlete, he's a former Olympian as well too, and he has done incredibly well. Though he was so particular about hosting the Olympics this year at all costs. But then he couldn't push. There was no way he could push that any further.
Do you think our man can do better? Talking about Gomel.
If our man, Mr. Reginald Gomel, can play the politics well, if he was trying to run for the election, he could do well, but if he can play the politics well, that's just it. Everything is politics.
Yes, everything is politics. Of course.
There's politics in sports.
Yes, everywhere.
Everywhere. Even your home, there's politics. So, is
it just that we in Africa, we don't really know how to play the politics, or what is the reason why we are not actually in those particular seats?
Apparently, our level of play of politicking is quite not as top-notch. Especially the North Africans are far ahead of us when it comes to, the North Africans, and they are far ahead of us when it comes to politicking, even in African continent.
In Africa, yes, that's true.
You know, and I don't know why it's like that anyway, but then maybe because I suspect that there's no much cohesion, no much cooperation within
the Nigerian sector,
or even the English-speaking countries.
Of course,
in Africa.
Yes, that's true.
Even the English.
Speaking side in Africa, because we saw that even in the Nations Cup, where some of our journalists who went there, they were like the French-speaking journalists. They were just having everything that they needed. They were just having all the passes that they needed to go into match venue. But when it comes to the English set of journalists, they find it very, very difficult for them to actually get match ticket and all that. So at this point in time, I feel we, in the West Africa, we in the Blacks Africa, we need to actually get to play the politics of the game about now, because if we don't do it, we will be left behind while others will actually take at the front row. So at this point in time, we need to actually get to live up to expectation. Let's get to fight for those key seats. It's also sad that Penix said he will not be running for the CAF presidency, that he will be going for FIFA Council. So at this point in time, we actually expect, most Nigeria expecting that he was going to go for the CAF presidency. Now that Ahmad is in deep waters. He has been suspended. So I don't see him coming to actually contest in the particular election. Well, we just
like we always say, we wish Thomas Bach the best. We are hopeful that he's able to bring in more innovations into the Olympics.
Of course.
And let's see how the next year Olympic will turn out. By God's grace, the vaccine will be out for everybody. So that
it's out already.
Yeah, it will go around the whole world, so that then fans can come into the stadium and
get to enjoy
the atmosphere of Olympics. And so let's now go to Real Madrid, where Zinedine Zidane, Zizou, stated that he is not going to resign as the pressure continues to build on the under fire Real Madrid boss. Madrid have lost 2 and drawn one of the last 3 La Liga games, leaving them fourth in the table with 10 matches played. More damaging than that, though, was Tuesday 2-0 loss to Shannon, the 13th-time UEFA League Champions League winners, Los Blancos, on the verge of exiting the Champions League in the group stage for the first time ever. However, asked at a new conference if he has any intention of stepping aside, Zidane replied, "No," and I quote him, "No, I am not going to resign, not at all. I believe in the players, and of course I have the strength. The other day against Alaves, we did not deserve to win, but today we did. There is no choice but to work and continue so that the good results return." Mauricio Pochettino is out of work since leaving Tottenham Hotspur in November, has emerged as Madrid's rumored top target to replace Zinedine Zidane. Now Madrid might, unfortunately it's my club as well,
it's a club,
might be playing in the Europa League.
It would be that all of them still stand a chance to qualify in the knockout, because we see Borussia, they have 8 points from 5 games. Shakhtar Donetsk have 7 points from 5 games. So you could see if Inter Milan get to win their next, so it's going to be tight. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be the fight to the last minute of the whistle, because Inter Milan can still qualify. Real Madrid can still qualify. Any of the things can still qualify to
the group again. Madrid just condemned me.
Yes.
But I trust in these boys, because when the chips are down, that is when the rest of the occasion. They know that if they fail to go into a second round of the Champions League, it's not good. It's going to be for Manchester United. It's very odd seeing
Madrid are sitting in the La Liga points behind Villa 20.
as well. The league. Let other, of course, Atletico Madrid as well. Let other clubs
also.
It will bring in more there's competition Madrid in Spain.
But it will bring in more competition, yes, like the one we have in the English Premier League.
But I do not see Zidane being sacked this season or him resigning, because we still believe in him. But even though
back to back.
Hazard is not.
He has been misfiring. He has been very audacious to the team.
Honestly, I don't know whether his body is made of plastic right now or something, or glass.
Yeah, he has not been playing well.
Any small thing.
I think the injury actually affected.
But why was he injured in Chelsea?
The injury actually affected him, and when he came back, he could pick up after he stopped. Big weight was actually resting on him. He had to one. Is that shocking to you? Just for me, before I react to games of today, we saw what happened yesterday. Certain Chelsea went away to defeat Sevilla 4-0. Giroud actually scored the 4 goals in that particular one. We saw Barcelona; they were winners in that particular one, 3-0. Dortmund and Lazio played the 1-1. Juventus also, there were 3 winner better off against Dynamo Kiev. While a certain Man United lost 3-1. Lost 3-1 at home
to PSG.
In that particular one. A certain Fred was sent back in that particular game.
Now, on Twitter I was seeing Ole out. He's always out.
And that group is still interesting in that particular group because PSG has 9 points plus 3 goals. Man United has 9 points plus 6 goals. A certain Leipzig have 9 points also minus 2 goals. Then Bexia has 3 points minus 7 goals. Bexia are out already in that particular one. So it is going to be a match to finish in that particular one.
Ole out. He's never out.
But certainly, I will blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in that particular game yesterday. Fred has a yellow card in the first half, and after his yellow card, he still went on throwing bad tackles. As a coach, I felt at that particular time during the halftime, it's for him to actually stop Fred, bring in a certain Pogba who was actually training at the sideline for him to come into that game, so that at least they will save that particular one. But he didn't actually remove Fred. He waited until when Fred was shown his second yellow card before he now stood up and he was not complaining. I think he didn't actually manage that game properly. So at this point in time, I will go in line with the Manchester United fan asking for his head at this particular time, because as a coach, that particular match is very, very important for you. Manchester United just need a draw in that particular match yesterday for them to get a second round ticket in that particular one. So you should have just removed Fred, put in a certain Pogba, get to absorb all the pressure in that particular match and see how they can be able to come out with a draw in that particular. But they went scandalously 3-1 to certain PSG.
Probably during the halftime talk in the dressing room, probably you told him, guy, calm down and everything. Don't.
What do you expect? He's the one.
Balotelli, and said, Balotelli, at the halftime, please, when you're going back to the pitch, don't do any tackle, don't fight, don't insult. If they beat you, walk away. If they slap you, walk away. Not other things, because they had no striker. But just within 2 minutes of entering second half, Balotelli got a red card. So same to have happened to Ole. He could have told Fred, during the halftime team talk in the dressing room. Okay, Fred, you're on yellow card already, but take your tackle down. But probably the adrenaline in Fred was too high. You know, maybe he was on another level, and he was just everywhere. And of course, his red card
actually cost Man United.
Responsible for the defeat.
Yes, actually cost Man United that particular.
As it was a defeat, I was also responsible. Solskjaer could have still done something to ensure that he does not lose that match. But then his game management was
before he actually got that red card. They were actually trailing 2-1. They were PSG was actually leading that particular game. So I felt. So I felt they should actually get to move on, get to put a defensive midfielder and see how they can absorb pressure and get to score. So in that particular one, we have actually I said the fixtures for the Europa League. We just go to the weekend fixture where star match of the weekend will be Tottenham versus Arsenal, Liverpool versus Wolves, Sevilla versus Real Madrid, Leipzig.
Actually, I'm tipping, of course, Tottenham to defeat Arsenal.
Of course, Arsenal have been playing woeful, and I'm an Arsenal fan. I will say that they have been playing woeful, so I don't see any good team coming out from that particular one for Arteta's side.
To defeat Wolves,
it's going to be tricky.
Sevilla versus Real Madrid. I'm a Madrid fan. I do not believe Madrid to even win any game right now. So Sevilla could defeat Madrid. Then Bayern, of course, it's almost given that they should defeat Leipzig.
Of course.
So these are just some of the star features for this weekend.
Yeah.
But then, so viewers, this is where we draw the curtain for today's show, and we hope you enjoyed every bit. Like we have always said on this program, take charge of your health, stop the virus by obeying the guidelines as set out by the authorities. Keep your social distancing like I'm doing with my my colleague and my brother here. Wash your hands regularly or use an alcohol-based sanitizer, and always use your face masks. Remain Olushola Lojide.
Till we'll come your way, same time, same station next week. I remain Olawale Ayeni. Bye bye. God bless you. Have a blessed weekend. Bye bye for now.
Bye.
It is educating, it is inspirational, it is relevant, it is spiritual, it is the parables, a program that brings to bear what parable means, giving us interpretations to each parable of Christ, and above all, teaching the life-changing lessons from each parable. Join me, Nzubechi Frank, on this station, the Advent Cable Network Nigeria ACNN Television, for the parables.
Christianity is not just something we say we have or claim with our lips. We have to live it out.